Maharaj has often highlighted in his Pravachans that the truest home is the heart that dwells in contentment. In today's world, people often measure happiness by wealth, fame, or learning. But Maharaj reminds us that real contentment lies only in God, and only those who anchor their hearts in Him experience peace. Saints of our tradition lived this truth, not merely in words, but in the very fiber of their existence. One such shining example is Muruga Nayanar, whose life reveals that when contentment rests in God, even trials turn into triumphs. Whenever I meet a person, what I particularly observe is how far he is happy. Perhaps you too do the same, only the criteria differ. Your test is his wealth, learning, public esteem, and such like. People prefer the rich, I prefer the poor. People honor the learned and the scholar, while my preference is for the simple unlettered. My preference is poles asunder from the worldly man's. That is why I enjoy contentment which other people lack. I searched deep to find wherein contentment can reside, and found it only in God. So I like to live in the house which is replete with contentment. Being contentment in and out, I find it difficult to live with one who calls himself mine but is discontented. All that I expect of you is that you should live in contentment as I do. To this day, I have meticulously observed one vow: I never hurt anyone's heart or feelings. This I could do because I have never lapsed into forgetting Nama. After all, I am a destitute by worldly standards. I have neither scholarship, nor art, nor wealth. And yet people seem to want me, find support in me. And this is solely because I love everyone selflessly, guilelessly, wholeheartedly. I know fully well the way of the world, and therefore I have never worried about what people say or feel about me. I have only taken pains to see what I should say to each person in his own interest. That you people come repeatedly to hear me speak may be due to one of three reasons. First, I may not have been clear and precise enough. Second, you may not have understood me correctly. And third, you may be forgetting what I say. I expect you to talk with me with the same open-heartedness that you would have with a member of your family. In any case, I always say to a person what I feel will be wholesome for him. I feel sure that he will profit if he follows my advice. By profit, however, I do not mean an apparent improvement in his worldly life, but something conducive to contentedness in the circumstances as they exist. It is my mission in life to create in the listener's mind a relish for Nama. Whoever comes to meet me, I ensure that he will take to Nama sooner or later. Muruga Nayanar of Pumpukalur beautifully embodies this teaching. He lived a life of deep contentment and devotion to Lord Shiva, never swayed by worldly standards of wealth or prestige. His joy was in serving saints and devotees of Shiva, for he saw them as walking forms of divinity. That splendid Tirugnana Sambandhar, along with the valiant sage Tirunavukkarasar, once stayed at Muruga Nayanar's abode during their sacred travels. Muruga Nayanar's heart overflowed with delight, not because of fame or recognition, but because he could serve the devotees of the Lord. His home became filled with the fragrance of divine contentment. Later, Muruga Nayanar participated in the grand wedding celebrations of Tirugnana Sambandhar. At that wedding, by the prayer of Sambandhar, a divine flame appeared, leading him and the assembly into the eternal bliss of Lord Shiva. In that sacred fire, Muruga Nayanar attained the lotus feet of the Lord, not through worldly achievement, but through a life steeped in selfless service and unwavering contentment in God. Thus, his life shows us that when one's heart is anchored in God and his devotees, contentment reigns supreme. No external circumstance can shake it. Maharaj's Pravachan reminds us today that true profit in life is not material prosperity, but the contentment that arises from remembrance of God. Muruga Nayanar's life is a shining confirmation of this truth. He lived simply, served saints with joy, and attained the highest liberation. If we too can cultivate this inner richness of contentment, then our homes, no matter how small or humble, will be abodes where God Himself delights to dwell.